Yep.
and they don't do anything with them.
I didn't recognize Antonio Banderas when he showed up.
I
Originally.
thought it was, but I wasn't sure. I was like,
You address him by his real name, Puss in Boots.
I was surprised to see Puss in Boots on the dock.
That's right.
And then when I think we see Puss in Boots later, I'm like, oh my God, it's Puss in Boots. And then Puss in Boots was gone. I was like, oh, why was Puss in Boots here?
Because he had to go underwater in the most non-threatening set piece in this entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, you have 3 minutes and you get the bends. You have 3 minutes. They go down and then you just kind of stop counting and like,
Yeah.
oh, there's some eels, but we're just gonna swim away.
Yeah.
Like there was nothing harrowing about that.
No,
Nothing
that's
at all.
true.
That set
That
piece.
was needless.
And then
that's a
they
good point.
and
Yeah.
they kill his ass.
I think Antonio
Poor Puss in
Banderas
Boots.
must have. I think he must have just had a lifelong dream of being in.
Listen,
Indiana
guys, I
Jones.
just want to be.
I'll be the guy that gets killed. That's totally
Yeah.
cool. But also bad guy logic. They shoot him in the knee and then immediately kill him.
I know.
There was no warning shot.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a in the knee, tell me the truth, and then kill him. It was just like knee.
Wait, was it really?
Yes.
Yes.
Wait. No. In my head, it was like, oh, they shot him in the knee.
There
That
was-
way it'll get one of them to tell them what they
As far
want.
as I remember, there was no second line of questioning. It was knee, and you think I'm serious, and then they just kill him. Like there
Oh,
was
no.
no like a pit stop.
Right.
in
The reason
between
you would
torture
shoot
and
someone in the
murder.
knee is to like get more information, not to
Yeah,
then
so
just keep.
this dude had to suffer a little bit.
Maybe he hit him in the knee by accident. He's like, I'm going to kill this guy right now. Oh,
He's ter-
shit.
like, well, he's a
Oh.
scientist. Maybe he's a
Yeah,
terrible shot.
because
I
it was
wounded
Mads
him.
that pulled the trigger. So.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
okay,
He's,
let's-
he's a rocket scientist.
So I think we all agree that the best part of this movie is the third act. It goes
yeah, okay.
crazy.
I don't know. I
Do you
kinda
mean like when they go back in time?
Yes.
Oh, gonna go back in time.
From that on, which to me was so incredibly Indiana Jones, because all of them do go in a very science fiction or supernatural
Yeah.
way. Like they bridge history with something fantastical.
I do, but I listened to a podcast. I can't remember which one this was.
Was it
That
Cold Pop?
It
You
wasn't.
listen to other podcasts?
You-
Was it the
some-
Michelle Mission?
It was not the Michelle Mission.
Oh, that's one of my favorites.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I've heard it's a good one. But they were talking about that moment when he goes back in time, and they were saying how, it's kind of impressive, but thematically, considering that this is the wrap up of Indiana Jones, it might have been nice for him to go back to some place, maybe either a little bit more, that we knew about
Yeah.
the time
I
that
swear
we
to
heard
I
of.
100% thought that they were going to bring him back to stop Mutt from going to, signing up for the army.
Oh, I thought
Well, I
they were
didn't-
going to go back to the train.
I didn't see it. I didn't think that. I thought that they might go back to, like, if he goes back in time to oh God, what was it? The Ark of the Covenant.
Yeah.
The actual Ark of the Covenant.
Oh, I see. Like
You
the
know what I
beginning
mean?
of the arc. Yeah.
Yeah, like it's something like that. But I guess there was something about where they went that just it didn't do it for me. It like, now when he lands and is talking about maybe staying back there, I felt the emotion of that, and I love the beat of her
Yeah.
saying like,
I also like the beat.
yeah, I like that.
I cracked up.
I did like that, but just the whole setup of it, it just it did, and even like even the special effect of them going back in time, I thought was very unimpressive.
Right. Just, there's a hole in the sky.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
really felt like,
You know what bothered me about that is that they get the Dial of Destiny and they figure out, which is an object that can figure out when there's going to be a rip and hold in space-time.
Yeah.
And then it's
Side
like,
note- side
oh
note,
shit, it's in 10 minutes. Thank God. Like, because that could have been like a
Oh.
century from now.
Well, no, he had like the one professor had the numbers kind of figured out based off of his research.
Yeah.
So they knew it was going to be 3 days from when they had talked about it.
Oh, did
Like,
they? Okay.
Yeah, that was
All
set up. Yeah.
right. I thought that, to me, it just felt
That
like,
was
oh,
the-
thank God it's
That
now.
was the ticking clock of the movie that this
Gotcha.
all had to get taken
I missed
care
that.
of now.
My bad.
Yeah.
Side note: Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny.
Yeah.
Worst Indiana Jones title.
No, Kingdom of the Crystal Skull is a mouthful.
Yeah.
But some that feels like one of those.
No, the worst the worst title is the retitling of Raiders.
Indiana Jones,
Indiana
and the
Jones and the
Raiders
Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah.
Because you know
Oh,
what?
they've retired. I didn't even know that.
Yeah. You know what? He's one of the fucking Raiders.
Yeah.
So what is it?
Well,
Indiana
it's-
Jones and the
and
other Raiders.
of the Lost Ark.
Whatever.
Yeah.
It should just be Raiders and then
and those
Indiana
Raiders.
Jones and a couple other Raiders of the
Yeah.
Lost Ark.
Indiana Jones is not the worst Raider of the Lost Ark.
But yeah, that was my problem with it, was just the timing of it. But and also the fact that Indiana Jones, being such a historian, would be like, yeah, this is pretty cool. I'm just going to stay here and ruin everything. I'm going to fuck up. I mean, to be fair, there's already a plane wreckage there and bullets all over the beach, and there are corpses that people are going to find years from now, decades from fucking centuries from now, that have bullets in them. So like they've already fucked up time just by going back there.
But they did find a lot of that stuff in the tomb. So it was
because they mentioned
right. It had
it
wings
double
on
backed-
it.
Yeah,
It
it
had
double backed
the-
on itself.
yeah.
Yeah. So like,
And
and
the
also
watch.
too, it made more. So if it was going to be I'm gonna go back in time, or I happen to go back in time at a place where I can change something meaningful to me, I actually think that would have been, I wouldn't have liked that.
Right.
Because the point of this movie, the subtext of this entire movie is that he has lived a life and has a shit ton of regrets and successes within those. He just can't see them. Ending him in a place where he takes control over his destiny like God and changing the past, I think would have been a giant misstep for this character.
I see what you're
I
saying.
can see that.
Because the whole point was you're still needed now, or you're still useful here, not stay here. And because it's not like he would have lived a wonderful life. He had a fucking bullet wound in 2217
true.
BC, or
Yeah.
he would have
died 5 minutes later.
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
So it's not
Exactly.
like
He would not have left the beach.
It was essentially he was asking to just die, not
Yeah.
stay, die.
Yeah.
Right.
And
We're gonna fix him.
I don't know. I also like the idea of Archimedes kind of creating this dial just to receive help for that battle.
Mhm.
This wasn't like a master key that took you anywhere. It was a fixed point. It was always the same loop, which they talk about in the movie.
Oh.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah, he designed it to always be the same loop. So these Nazis were chasing something that was not possible to begin with.
Oh,
It was
what?
Yeah.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
The rip in time space always goes back to that spot.
Yeah.
It always goes back to 2017.
What?
Because the whole thing was created because at the Battle of Syracuse, they were overrun and
Yeah.
about to die. So
Yeah.
he was essentially creating a scenario where they would receive help.
Whoa. I can't wait to watch this movie again.
Yeah, it's like a
I like
throw.
it even
it's-
better.
It seems like a really important
Yeah.
piece of the information, but it was like a throwaway line by Phoebe Waller-Bridge in like kind of the wrap up.
Yeah, it's
Interesting.
kind of like giving some gravitas to the MacGuffin of the movie.
yeah. Which,
Like,
they all have.
They wanted it to change the world, but really it
Yeah.
was just a call for help.
Oh, I do. Speaking of Mads Mikkelsen, I loved his plan. I was like, oh, that is a more interesting plan than I thought it was going to be. Like, oh, you're going to go back in time and help Hitler win. No, I'm going to become Hitler.
I'm gonna
Like,
kill
Hitler
Hitler.
fucked it
Yeah.
up. I'm going to kill Hitler. I'm going to do all the things right that Hitler messed up and lost us the war, which they even tell us in the beginning of the thing. He's talking to that poor dude who's just like bringing him food at the hotel. And he's like, Hitler didn't, well, you didn't win the war. Hitler lost the war. Which I was like, when he finally tells us what his plan is, like, that's a pretty dope plan, actually. It's different than I thought it was going to be.
I like this movie.
Yeah, I can't wait to see it again. I do want to finish watching
Crystal
Skull.
Skull.
Crystal Skull.
I don't know how so like in the last month, 2 or 3 very, very expensive movies
Ooh,
are
have been
tanking hard.
shitting it
Hard.
Yeah.
Well,
And
one of them is not tanking as much as they thought. If you're thinking about
Flash.
Elemental,
Oh,
you know what? No, I wasn't thinking about Elemental.
You're thinking
but
about Flash,
but I was
right.
also thinking a little bit of Transformers, but those expectations were hella low anyway.
yeah,
So like that movie is making its money back. Elemental's probably going to make its money back.
how much did I don't know if you know
Baseline.
this? How much did Transformers cost?
Something like 150.
150.
This
Oh
is-
wait, hang on.
yeah.
This movie is the Indiana Jones movie is almost double a Transformers movie.
Yeah, the Transformers movies had to have cost at least 2. Just so because of the special effects alone, it's a walking special effect.
Oh, I'm sorry, you're correct. 195.
Oh,
Yeah.
And this one was what?
But so 295.
Still.
100 million more. But they're currently like
I can tell you what.
Transformers is currently at 383 million
Yeah.
worldwide.
Yeah.
So it's going to make its money back because
Yeah.
like they usually say in order to make your money back, it has to be double of the budget because that's counting residuals and marketing, and
Right.
then you
Yeah.
get profit, right?
Right.
So Transformers is going to burn profit, but
Yeah.
Flash isn't.
No.
Indiana
Flash is-
Jones isn't.
No.
Like these movies had to make $1 billion
Yeah.
to just kind
What a
of
bummer.
be in
the difference.
conversation.
I'll tell you the difference though. The difference in Transformers and those
Indiana
other
Jones.
both of those other movies, Flash and Indiana Jones, is the salaries for the actors.
Oh, okay.
There's no
Flash?
there's no
Other than Keaton, like Ezra Miller's not pulling down a $35 million like
Ezra
bargain deal.
Yeah, but Ezra Miller probably is making at least double than anybody in Transformers.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Plus, you've
but
got Ben Affleck. Plus, you've got Michael Keaton.
yeah.
Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot
Yeah.
shows up for a cup of coffee.
Yeah.
You know, what's his name? Michael Shannon.
Oh yeah, Michael Shannon. Yeah.
Mm.
So I mean, and never mind
So I
Mads
think
Mikkelsen and Harrison Ford.
I think both of these movies are inflated. Well,
Harrison Ford got 20 million for this one.
yeah, I mean that's
that's
not
not nothing.
that much. No, it's not that much.
That's
not
just
that
regular,
like,
but it's
yeah,
that tax
But-
on to.
but
I would expect Harrison Ford to get more than 20 million.
But both of these movies, like both this and The Flash, have been in production for a decade.
yeah.
So like we're lumping all of the money spent on
Different scripts.
That's
starting and
true,
stopping
that's true.
production
Yeah,
over and over
yeah.
again.
Yeah.
So it's like the movie that we saw is maybe half or 2/3
Yeah.
of that full total budget, and the rest of it is
Getting there.
like when you watch the opening credits of a movie and you see that there are 6 writers
Oh yeah,
and that there's an ampersand in between some names and spelled out AND in between some names, that means that there are multiple teams of writers constantly rewriting
Yeah.
each other's scripts, and they all get paid over and over on top of each other. So like everything kind of
Yeah.
compounds the longer a movie's in production. So I don't know. It's
Do you think that this sort of problem that we're running into is going to bring us more practical effects and less special effects?
no,
Because
I
we're
think-
also hearing about all of the different effects houses are all complaining because they're all overworked and underpaid,
no, I think it's something a little bit more. I think it's a little bit more.
or just worse CGI.
No, I don't think it's about the special effects. I think it's just more about our habits as moviegoers is changing, and the rule of or like the thought was of Hollywood was like, well, it's got to be the largest budget, the biggest spectacle
Right.
in order for it to be worth it in the theaters, but they price themselves out to not be able to make any fucking profit
Yeah.
when you've got horror movies that
Yeah.
that cost
Blumhouse
$30 million
movies, yeah.
and are making $150 million at the box office. That's turning profit for
Yeah.
studios. So like it's more about, I think they need to like reassess what makes a movie successful, not just how big it needs to be.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, The Flash, it's fun, but did it have to be an Avengers level movie? No, it could have just been Barry being Barry.
Yes.
But they had to
would've
keep
preferred
like
it.
one upping, right?
Yeah.
And this kind of falls along with that. Like it's did the opening sequence have to be 25 minutes long,
Mm.
which is probably half the budget of the movie?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
No.
it didn't.
Well, yeah.
Could have been a 10-minute cold open.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like
Unless-
I just think it's but they probably just wanted to show off. Like, look what we can do now.
Yeah.
And it's like serve the story. I don't know.
Email us what you think of the not the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull, the Dial of Destiny.
Kingdom of the Crystal Skull.
That's the one. Or Alan Quartermain. Let us know what you thought of the Alan Quartermain film.
What
What
is
we're
your
supposed to rank
ranking?
these? Yeah,
Ranking,
we're supposed to rank
real
these.
quick.
Oh,
and then we're
don't
out.
write a ranking. Shit. This is easy though.
Yes, easy for me. Last Crusade, Raiders of the Lost Ark. Oh jeez.
Ooh.
Cheesy wheezy.
I'm sure this was supposed to be easy, right?
It was, but gosh, I can't believe I'm going to say Dial of Destiny, then Temple of Doom, and Crystal Skull.
Right on.
Raiders, Last Crusade, Destiny, Temple of Doom skull.
Yeah, that one's mine. Wait, let me
But,
see.
like,
Is it Raiders?
Ask me tomorrow. Last Crusade might be above Raiders. Like that 1 and 2 slot.
That's where I'm at. They're touching tips,
That's gross.
and then the rest.
So odd movies are great. The odd
the
Indiana
odd
Jones movies are
all
the best.
punch Nazis, so yeah, they're great.
The odd Indiana Jones movies are the best.
Yeah. All right, now you can email us at cultpopgo@gmail.com. You can tweet at us at cultpopgo.
Hi. You can also join us Wednesday mornings. Just on your iTunes feed, we do a show called Fresh Floppies where we review, spoiler-free review, comic books that come out today. This morning, we dove deep into the nightmares of the DC universe.
Night Terrors.
With the new event called Night Terrors. Was
that 6 issues?
Join us. It was like
Night Terrors that came out this week.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was great.
Len.
Yes.
Where can people find you?
Hey, you can check me out. You can find me where you find all podcasts. Look for Micheaux Mission, MICHEAUXMISSION. 2 men, 1 podcast, every Black film ever made. We stream live every Tuesday for 7 p.m. right here from Young Chunk. And our show is available on YouTube as well. Peace.
Nice. We don't know what we're doing next week, so it'll be a surprise for all of us. We will see you then. We'll talk at you later. Ta-ta!